This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Ghimire with the news. The headlines first. 4 people die and 28 others go missing in floods and landslides in Taplejung, Panchthar and Sangkhwasabha. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda directs for prompt and effective search, rescue and relief operations in affected areas. Socialist Front being declared today by incorporating CPN Maoist Centre, CPN Unified Socialist, Janta Samajwadi Party, among other parties. And United Nations says up to 500 people still missing from migrant boat that sank off Greece. Now the news in detail. 4 people have died while 28 others have gone missing in floods and landslides that occurred on Saturday night in Panchthar, Taplejung and Sangkhwasabha districts. Police said 4 people died, 2 in Panchthar and 1 each in Taplejung and Sangkhwasabha. Similarly, 21 people have gone missing in Sangkhwasabha, 4 in Panchthar and 3 in Taplejung. Nepal Police spokesperson DIG Kuber Kadayat said 7 road sections of 3 districts had been disrupted, 11 houses had been swept away and 13 families had been displaced. Spokesperson Kadayat said the rescue and search operations for missing people was ongoing. Meanwhile, 3 missing people have been rescued in the Sangkhwasabha district. The details of the losses are being collected. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has directed the officials and line agencies to work proactively in the search of those missing in the flooding and carry out rescue and relief operations to the affected communities in the eastern hilly districts. The Prime Minister appealed to civilians, security bodies and government employees to unite for the rescue operations of the flood-hit communities. Prime Minister Dahal also expressed deep sorrow over the demise of human lives and damages to the property. Similarly, Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister Narayan Kaji Shrestha has directed the concerned authorities to ensure that there is no shortage in the treatment of the people injured due to natural disaster and relief and proper management of the survivors. In an emergency meeting held yesterday in wake of heavy loss of property incurred due to floods and landslides, he instructed to build a bridge to facilitate traffic at Hewa Khola on the Mechi Highway. Meanwhile, flights operating from various airports in the country were affected yesterday due to adverse weather. According to Trivandrum International Airport's domestic terminal office, the domestic flights were hampered due to low visibility owing to the bad weather. Flights operating from airports mostly in the western parts of the country such as Bhairahawa, Pokhara, Bharatpur and Tumlingtar were affected. No flight could be operated to and from Tumlingtar Airport. The monsoon system is already spreading across the country at present. While areas in the eastern and central part of the country are under the influence of the monsoon, western parts are experiencing partial influence of local winds and westerly winds, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division. The lawmakers of the House of Representatives have drawn the government's attention to the country's contemporary issues. Lawmaker Thakur Prasad Goire said that India had done a reprehensible act of including Nepal's Kapilvastu and Lumbini in the mural map installed at its new parliament building. Speaking in the zero-hour session of the House of Representatives yesterday, lawmaker Goire objected to what he called attempts by India to spread false information through the film Adipurush that Sita, the consort of Hindu god Ram, was a daughter of India. He demanded clarification on the issue from the government. Lawmaker Dol Prasad Aryal called for finding out the truth and facts about the Indian side measuring the Nepali land in an unauthorized manner. Dr. Toshima Karki called attention of the government towards the flourishing black marketing in the country and called for controlling it. Lawmaker Dilendra Prasad Padu stressed on the need of addressing the demands of the agitating teachers through dialogue. The lawmakers also called the attention of the government on the nation's contemporary topics such as citizenship, drinking water shortage, damage caused by the recent incessant rains, and safety in public transport, among other such issues. A socialist front is being declared today by incorporating CPN Maoist Centre, CPN Unified Socialist, Janta Samajwadi Party, among other left-leaning political parties. The Ministry of Communications and Information Technology has clarified that the word Bharat Ki, which means of India, was removed from the Bollywood film Adipurush before obtaining permission from the Censor Board of Nepal for its release in Nepal. The ministry said it had taken note of objections raised in the media regarding the dialogue in which Janaki, a national luminary of Nepal, was portrayed as the daughter of India. The Central Film Screening Committee requested the removal of the word before the Censor Board granted permission for the film's public screening. The film screening was approved in accordance with the relevant regulations. Chief Commissioner of the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority, CIAA, Prem Kumar Rai, has said the anti-graft constitutional body is working in a responsible and accountable way to stem corruption and promote good governance. Speaking in the meeting of the National Assembly, National Concern and Coordination Committee yesterday, Chief Commissioner Rai asserted that CIAA was carrying out its job by setting a vision of building a corruption-free society that upholds integrity. You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. On to some international updates now. Up to 500 people are still missing from a migrant boat that sank off Greece, according to the United Nations Human Rights Office. Large numbers of women and children were among those missing in the horrific tragedy that left 78 people dead, according to spokesperson Jeremy Lawrence. Lawrence said the appalling loss of life underscored the need to bring people smugglers to justice. But it also made clear that search and rescue at sea was a legal and humanitarian imperative. In a joint statement with the International Organization for Migration, the refugee agency said any search and rescue action had to be conducted to prevent the loss of life. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken met China's Foreign Minister Qin Gang in Beijing yesterday at the start of the 2 days of talks with Chinese officials. The visit is first by an American diplomat to China in almost 5 years. The BBC cited U.S. officials as saying the main goal of the talks was to stabilize a relationship that has become extremely tense. It comes nearly 5 months after an earlier Blinken visit was postponed following the flight of a suspected Chinese spy balloon in U.S. airspace. The U.S. has been lowering expectations from the trip, and both sides have made clear they do not expect any major breakthrough. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division, the weather will be generally cloudy in Kosi province and partly to generally cloudy in the hilly regions of the country, and partly cloudy to mainly fair in the Tarai Madhes region of the country. Light to moderate rain with thunder and lightning is likely to occur at some places of Kosi province and at a few places of hilly regions of the country. There are also chances of heavy rainfall at 1 or 2 places in Kosi province. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin. But before wrapping up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once again. 4 people die and 28 others go missing in floods and landslides in Taplejung, Pachthar and Sangkhwasabha. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda directs for prompt and effective search, rescue and relief operations in affected areas. Socialist Front being declared today by incorporating CPN Maoist Centre, CPN Unified Socialist, Janta Samajwadi Party, among other left-leaning political parties. And United Nations says up to 500 people still missing from migrant boat that sank off Greece. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.